Label your first layer stairs and draw 3 sets of stairs and a floor. Set a keyframe at about 60 and then save your project with your first name and save it to the server under technology for your class. I'm waiting for this to come up. Next, create a new layer, label it ball. Then create a ball and make sure that it has a gradient highlight. To do that, you come down here and you choose one of these. When you create your ball, make sure that you change it so that the highlight shows up at the top rather than the middle of the ball. That way it looks like the sun is shining down on it. Okay, make sure your ball is off and to the left. It's off the stage. It's going to start off the stage, and then right click on the first frame on the ball layer and say create motion tween.
Step 4. Create a guide path. Then using the line tool, draw a path for the ball to bounce down the stairs. Give the ball an extra bounce when it reaches the floor to finally come to a stop. Next, take the
Next, create a guide path by clicking here. You want to use the line tool to create the ball bounce all the way down the stairs. When you get to the bottom of the steps, create an extra bounce until the ball comes to a final stop. Next, use your arrow tool and curve the lines to make it look like a natural bounce going down the stairs. The ball will move along this guide path based on the center point, which is here. So if we allow it to continue, it's going to bounce down here in the center of the step. Since we don't want that, we need you to right click and go ahead and hit free transform and and change the center point. Pull it down to the bottom of the ball. And then realign the ball with the guide path, the bottom of the ball with the guide path. For the next step, we're going to create keyframes about 5 to 6 frames apart by hitting F6, and we are going to move the ball along that guide path. And we are also going to include the tops of the guide path when we create these motion paths. Make sure that that bottom point is lined up with the guide path, and continue this all the way down your line. F6, move it down. Add an extra keyframe at the very end so that we can free transform the last frame. Now let's go back and free transform the ball each time it hits the floor. That way it'll look like it's squishing when it hits the bottom. And since we've changed the center point for the ball, when I pull down on the top, this will work out just fine. Continue with this until you've done all of them. To give the ball a more realistic bounce, we're going to go and create a keyframe just before the ball bounces. So I'm hitting F6. And on that keyframe, I'm going to come down here to my properties panel, and I'm going to change the easing to -100. And then on the keyframe where the ball bounces, I'm going to change the easing to +100. And I'm going to continue this all the way down as the ball bounces. So go ahead and do that on your own. Oops. So here I'm going to do another F6. Okay, if we hit the enter key, we can watch our ball bounce down the stairs. You can see mine's very slow. Make sure that you save this again to the server. So you're going to need to do File, Save As, make sure it's on the server, and then you're also going to need to upload a copy to, you're going to need to export it as an AVI file, and go ahead and upload that to YouTube and embed it into Moodle. If you have any questions, please just ask. Thanks.